Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you're new, hi, I'm Lady. I hope you stick around by subscribing so you and I can be friends for life. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back, friend. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, give it a like, leave a comment, all of those things. On this episode of Becoming an Authentic Girly, we are chatting confidence, self-esteem, inevitable things to talk about when we're on this journey of becoming more authentic. Today is more about clarifying that self-esteem and self-confidence are two different things, and how one is not entirely something that you have full control over. The other is something that you can proactively work towards every single day of your life. Self-esteem is not self-confidence. Self-esteem is the thing that your parents give to you. It is the thing that they instill in you. It's something that you pick up along the way. A while back, I did a video on transactional analysis, and I was describing PAC according to Byrne. And it is the idea that we're all made up of three personalities, namely the parent, the adult, and the child. Here, when I speak of parents, I don't speak about mom and dad. I speak about all people who maintain a sense of authority, and not just people, but also institutions that uphold a sense of authority over one's life in the first formative years of their life. The adult is who we choose to become. It's the ideas that we pursue that make us feel whole, that make our environments feel better and more cohesive and comfortable to exist in. The child is something that I'm not going to touch into, but that is essentially the emotional being in each and every one of us. There are multiple similarities between self-esteem and self-confidence. The thing that makes self-esteem not entirely a responsibility is that this is something that is instilled in us as babies, children. It is the work of our parents, our guardians, and everybody who says things to us about us. It is how we feel when we are by ourselves. It is the things we think about ourselves when no one else is listening, when no one else is watching, how we perceive ourselves, how we treat ourselves. The quality of our self-esteem is deeply impacted by our biggest and first ever critics, our parents. And while that has a big impact on how we navigate self-confidence, it is greatly important to take responsibility over the fact that the rest of our journey in building ourselves is entirely ours. Whether or not people who are supposed to love us unconditionally rise up to the occasion and love us unconditionally, or they fail short along the way and give us some criticism, a lot of criticism all the time, it doesn't matter. What matters most is that we get to a point where we decide that we want to become our authentic selves, and we take over the driving wheel and we start driving towards a destination of self-authenticity. The thing with the quality of our self-esteem, though, is that when it is low, poor, will inevitably make self-confidence crumble, and eventually the quality of our lives will suffer tremendously because of poor self-esteem. Self-confidence is our big great friend because it is the thing that allows us to change everything as we once knew it. Self-confidence is a thing that we are allowed to face. Self-confidence is made up of our experiences, our attitudes, our faith, our wisdom, our knowledge, countless things that are interrelated. And eventually, these are the things that, based on just one simple decision that you could start making every single day, will change the quality of life as you know it. Choosing to cultivate a relationship with your spirituality, choosing to cultivate yourself as a spiritual being, could just be the one thing that you need to start doing every single day, a little bit. That little bit of morning meditation, morning prayer, morning moments of silence, just for you to tap into your spiritual well-being, could be the one thing that changes how you perceive the world around you, could be the one thing that heightens your wisdom, that improves your knowledge and how you invest in yourself, and ultimately change the experiences that you have in your everyday life. Now, I speak about my daily practice of affirmations and gratitude almost all the time, and I think I've mentioned this in nearly all my other previous videos in the series. But it's practices such as those that give me a chance at improving my self-confidence, give me a chance at working at my self-esteem in spite of the good work that my parents did. While it is utterly important to note that the work that your parents did at cultivating your self-esteem is work that you will either have to undo or work that you'll have to be grateful for, it is equally so important to acknowledge that as an adult who continues to live their lives, who is self-responsible, who has a sense of personal autonomy, you get to choose the things that govern you. And self-confidence is an elixir that every single human being needs for a good quality of life. Now, I say this is the type of thing we can fake because confidence can be borrowed. Confidence can be the type of thing that you take a little bit from your future self, your more authentic self. As you walk on this journey to get to her, you already have an idea of how this gorgeous, self-fulfilled, at peace woman looks like. And if she's at peace and she has fulfillment and she's joyful and she is happy and she feels good about herself, you can imagine just how much confidence she has. Borrow that confidence from her. Take from her how you perceive she would talk to people around her, how you think she thinks, how she invests in her mind and her mental well-being. Your more authentic self already has it covered, and she's not too far off in the horizon. You just need to constantly get back to her and ask her for a little bit of help to push you through a room full of people when current you just doesn't feel like going through a room full of people. If current you is just going down a rabbit hole of feeling anxious and just does not want to engage in things that are going to help her grow, future you, more authentic you, who feels more confident and knows just how to work a room, that's the girl you need to tap into. And imagine, visualize in your head how she would talk to people, how she would talk to friends, how she would talk to herself. That's what self-confidence is, tapping into the version of yourself that you already can imagine is just spot on. And little by little, these small practices of just imagining a version of you, you become her. Little by little, she's not just a figment of a future version. She is you now. Before you know it, you're acting like her. You're speaking every day like her. People around you already treat you like her because you are her. And the biggest thing is that you need to have the faith that you can do it, because oftentimes when you think you can do it, you can't do it. And even more true is that if you think you can't do it, you cannot do it. You need to be crazy enough to believe in yourself, delusional enough to have the idea in your head, but also courageous enough to put the action behind it, courageous enough to walk the talk that you believe in your head already. I like that this video was actually short. I like that it was straight to the point, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed sitting here at the end of the day, shooting it as quickly as I could because the sun was setting and it's actually a really gloomy day. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I'm saying that again, but I really hope that you did. Give it a like, leave a comment, and I will see you on the next one very soon. Mwah. Bye-bye.